Hello, my friends. This is GMB, Gianmarco Bassoni, and DJ producer from Northern Italy. And today we are going to take the pre-master version of my last EDM production, the song with the title Energy Dancer. And we have a very silent version of this track without any kind of mastering, and we have it, I wrote it -6, but indeed it's a -10 dB, so we are going to exaggerate it, and we are going to push this track to its limits. In order to do it, we have a mastering chain with FL21 native plugins. We have equalizators, compressors, soft clipper, and a limiter. And we are going to witness the final result with Voxengo Span, a free plugin. First of all, let's listen to the track without any kind of mastering. So as you can see, we have a peak value of -10 dB and RMS value of over -20. And how do we achieve the final result? Let's take a look to the final result so that you can see where we are going to go now. This is the final result of the track. Let's do it. So as you can see, the final result is a competitive track with RMS values of -6 dB and peak values of -0 point something. I always try to limit at 0 point something because I don't like to have problems with the analogic conversion. Many plugins do it automatically, but with the native FL21, flstudio 21 plugins, then you have to pay attention because it's not obvious. You just have to limit the final track just some points, just some decimal points. But let's first of all take a look to the theory behind all of this. We start from a very clear point. We start with a mix with a good stereo image and a good reverb. Those three things maybe will be the topic of another video. Today we are going to talk about mastering. I think that mixing, stereo image, and reverb are all pre-master activities, even if stereo image and reverb could be changed while mastering, in the mastering process. In this case, we won't touch them. So we take our track with its stereo image and with its reverb and go on with the mastering process. In the mastering process, we do a first equalization in 2 steps. After that, we do the compression, and in the end, we do the limiting. Let's take a look. What we actually do in Fruity Loops, let's deactivate everything and do everything step by step. A first equalization with sharp cuts at around 20 Hz and at around 18,000 Hz. And we do it because I think that's important to cut the lowest and the highest frequencies to avoid distortion, to avoid interferences while playing. In many cases, those frequencies are just noise, so we cut them and without making ourselves any kind of problems. We wouldn't be able to listen to those frequencies because we don't have subwoofers or we don't have high quality tweeters, or our ear doesn't notice the highest frequencies and even the lowest one. So we do this operation to every track even before preparing the final pre-master version, but we do it another time in order to avoid that that some frequencies will interfere with the mastering. So the second important aspect is the equalization, general equalization. Let's take it here, the parametric EQ. In this case, I tried to boost some sweet spots of my song, some sweet frequencies of my song. And in this case, I have one is very, very nice sweet spot at 2000 and another one at around 120. Why is it important to boost the frequencies at around 2000 hertz? Because we need to do it in order to be more interesting for our audience. The human ear perceives the frequencies from 2 to 5K very, very good, and these frequencies are perceived as loud. So please do some work on it and try to boost your sweet spot between 2K and 5K, because if you do it, then you will achieve a higher perceived loudness. After that, we try to listen to the intermediate version of the song, and you will notice some changes. So as you could see, we also have two clippings, because we have we need to go on with the mastering chain, and in order to cancel those clippings, we need to use the compression. And as you could see, the perceived loudness is quite higher now, and even the data show us that we reach a very high loudness. But equalization is nothing without compression. In order to make our song sound louder, we need to compress it, because we need the RMS value to go up to close to zero. I usually say -6 dB is a good RMS value. For EDM, it's a very, very high RMS value, and for EDM, it's the perfect value. I listen to songs with even more RMS compression that reach a value of -5 dB RMS, and I think that in this case we are close to the maximum capacity of overall digital production. But I like to stay in the middle point, to stay at around -6 dB RMS. So let's start with a standard compression, general compression, with the standard Fruity compressor, FL21 compressor, and I did 1.2/1 ratio, a very fast attack time, and even a very fast release time, hard compression, and of course we need to boost the song a little bit. After the compression, I set a really low threshold, because I need the compressor to be very, very sharp. After that, the situation changes a little bit, as you can see, or better to say, as you can hear. So we have no clippings. We have a very, very more interesting RMS value, and the peak value is at around 0 dB. So even with this compression, we reached a very, very loud track. But in order to go further, we need to do a multiband compressor. In order to do this, we need to use the Maximus plugin. This is the standard FL21 native plugin for the multiband compression. I did a very standard operation. I took a preset, I did a maximum loudness preset, and then I just modified the post-compression gain of every band. Of course, you could do even more. If you want, you can set the thresholds of the bands of the compressor, and then do a more detailed compression. And you can also set the attack, release, and sustain time of the multiband compression. In this case, I wanted to keep it simple so that everyone can do it. So I did really hard. I did almost nothing. And let's take a look to the difference. So, as you can see, we reached the sweet value of -6 dB RMS with this multiband compression. If you can notice, the bass line is much more pumping and much more defined, and so we can even achieve a good result when listening to the song in with a serious speaker. Even in mono, we have a good result. Let's try to listen to it. So, as you can see, we have a good result even in mono. Most of local venues, even today, play these songs in mono, so you have to do a good mastering even in mono. And after that, I'm used to add a very slightly soft clipping, really slightly minus 1.3 dB, and it's just for the peaks, for the transients, and then in the end we need, of course, a limiter with a ceiling of minus 0.2. It's just for the analogic conversion. It's very important to do it because in FL, in the native plugins of FL, you do not have true peak, so you have to do it manually. And in the end, you will get to the final result. Let's listen to it and witness the result on Voxengo Span. So, as you can see, we are a little bit more conservative. We have we reached the RMS value of minus 6.8, minus 6.9 dB, and of course a peak value of minus 0 point something. So we did it in a very conservative way, and I think this is the right thing to do, because we could do even more. We could try to pump it up really to the limit, but we started from a file with minus 10 dB as a peak loudness, so we really did it in the best way. If you like the video, don't forget to hit the like button, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you want more. I will